Cool. Have a little chat.
Are we done? Are we live?
Yeah, we're done. That was it. Good.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, subscribe.
I'm glad we talked about all that stuff.
Yeah, that was really, really important. This has been so impromptu, I don't even know what we're going to talk about. And I'm trying to remember what we spoke about last time. I know obviously we...
Jeans and...
movies.
My love of Roger Deakins.
Yeah. Like the Northern Lights a lot, wasn't it?
Northern Lights.
And
it feels like a lifetime ago now.
It's been so long. So much has changed. And I think apart from like briefly bumping into you in shops and stuff, I don't think I've seen you properly since.
No.
Well, I've been hearing you're getting more into music at the moment.
I've been writing some Christian music. Sorry, my sister's sending me a WhatsApp. Don't you just fucking hate it when your family try and talk to you?
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. That was peaky. Did you hear that? That was so peaky.
That was good.
Oh. Why did I just shout like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a musician.
Shall I hold it really far away?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Peaky again. I've been, playing more gigs because more of just happens to come up. Yeah, turn me down, mate. Turn me down.
Chill out. I'm joking. You're good.
No, don't, because I'm going to be thinking about it the whole time. Is it really peaky?
Is it like when, like in therapy, when you say something in therapy and they go and write something, like, what you write is the same energy. It's like, as you're talking, it's just like,
you make like a really like self-deprecating joke and they're like, okay.
All right. It's just like,
Bradley, tell me why you think that's okay to say that.
Everyone hates their mum. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, textbook. Pisces.
999.
Yeah. I've just got to make a quick phone call, Bradley.
All right, just stay here. Some nice people are going to come into the room Bradley, in a minute.
And what you were saying about taking a knife. Is that a butter knife or is it? No, I shouldn't joke about that.
Oh, yeah.
The therapist that I saw over lockdown was really calming. And in some cases, like infuriatingly so.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would be going in and being like, this person doesn't like me. This person hates me. This person, whatever. And all I want is validation. And he'd be like, well, Bradley, maybe it's to do with their perception. I'd be like, no, shut up. Agree with everything I'm saying right now. And then he's like, okay, scribbling down on his little notepad. And it was over Zoom.
Oh, no.
But even over Zoom, I can tell that he's like, okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, Bradley. And what were you saying about all of your friends hating it? Yeah. They just don't like me. I just think everyone hates me all the time. And he's like, okay.
Oh, don't worry. I went on a... so actually, I managed to survive lockdown without a therapist. It was after lockdown where I was like, fuck.
Okay, rub it in.
I need to... No. I mean, the problem was when the world went back to normal and I was like, oh, I'm not ready for this. So I had to get my same old therapist who, I don't know if you've ever done like long term, but like, so with mine, like you can see them for like 12 to 18 months and then you have to have a 6-month break. And we were about Yeah. So we literally stopped therapy like not long into the lockdown and I was living the dream. And then after lockdown, I was like, I need to see you again. Like if I'm on the waiting list, bump me up that fucking list. I need to talk. I've got stuff to talk about.
I've got stuff to talk. I've got stuff to say.
I've got stuff on my mind. I'm not finished. Mic drop. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I was talking... No, yeah, the fucking other day. So I'd seen her the other day and I just had like this is one of those moments where I'm like, she's going to get me sectioned or some shit. Because I was just chatting shit and I started talking about how I hate the idea that I think in language because language is like a man-made thing. So someone else has thought my thoughts before me. And as I'm saying it, I'm like, I'm crazy. I'm constantly like every thought I've ever had is another existing idea and I can't deal with this. This is too much. And then she was just looking at me like, dude, chill out.
Dude, are you okay?
Dude. I'm just like... Not your.
That's like the greatest. I don't even know.
That was great. Yeah.
Because obviously all therapists only have HP pencils.
Yeah, of course.
And you can hear everything they're saying.
Our therapist. Hopefully that was not on the. I don't think it was. Anyway,
What?
I had just the notification sound as like.
Yeah, I heard it really loudly in my ears.
Yeah, so I was like, that
should we do like just loads of fake intros? And then this whole podcast is just going to be like loads of like cold open intros.
Constant cold open.
Just constant like.
I love the cold open at the moment. It's great.
You like a cold open?
I love it cold. Like,
I think it's obviously The Office, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like cold open.
Yeah. They kind of, I mean, it's always been around, but that's like the definitive, I think. You know?
Going back to therapy, I definitely see more and more people having it. And also having had it, I always think like, you should do it.
Yeah.
To like everyone.
Yeah. I've since COVID and since going back to therapy myself and being open with it, especially because I talk about it a lot on the podcast, I casually, it's just a casual thing. It's like, oh yeah, me and my therapist the other day were talking about blah, 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 blah. I've had probably about 6 or 7 people come up to me and being like, shall I go into therapy? And then if anyone ever even thinks about, oh, maybe I'll go to therapy, go to therapy.
It's so good.
There's like, even if you don't want, it's like, it's one of those things where it's, if it was normalized amongst society, it could even be like the same way you go to the dentist,
I think it has to be because it's like the brain is a muscle. Is it a muscle or an organ?
Oh,
the brain is a muscle organ. No, but like the brain is something that should be nurtured, and I think it should be sip.
Exercise.
Go on, sip. Do some ASMR sipping.
Massage.
Sponsored by a glass of water.
Sponsored by Lagua.
But I remember one session a big thing kind of over lockdown and like last year, but was very much about like, people just don't give me the same as what I give them. I feel like I'm giving out loads of like effort. And one thing that I always read about, or like one statement I read is like, if they wanted to, they would.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I like lived and died by that statement. I was like, yeah, man, fuck everyone else. But then he was like, okay, well, look at it like this. Remember that time where you were going out immediately after your session and you forgot to pay me that day and you paid me the following day? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, do you think my attitude to that should have been if he wanted to, he would? Or do you think it was just that you forgot and paid me the next day? And I was like, you fucker. You fucker.
You're right.
And it was just like something like that. It was like taking it like that. And at the time I was like really socially, I was like going through a bit of a tense time. And I remember thinking like, fuck, like, of course. Like, and it's just little things that they just help you realize things like that.
Yeah.
And I think you're like, especially like now with the way that everyone's life is like so perfect, because it is. Yeah. Everyone's life is perfect. No one has any problems. But
everyone's stable.
Everyone's stable. This is getting a bit too preachy.
Yeah.
Can we talk about something stupid? I'm just trying to reach my glass of water without turning around.
Yeah, I've got one of them carnivorous. I can't remember what it's called. Sophia or something. It's one of those pitcher plants where like
Sophia Vergara.
Oh God, yeah, she's just sitting on my windowsill, and the bugs go in the little thing.
Oh, there's bugs.
No, there's no bugs in here.
Dude, you just give me a glass of bugs.
Yeah, that's bug juice.
What the fuck, bro?
What the fuck, man? Bug juice. Well, I did want to talk about, because one of my literal least favorite sayings is, if they wanted to, they would. I'm glad that your therapist has kind of been like,
oh, big time. Because it's such a like common thing. Like everyone's always like, my boyfriend, if he wanted to, he would.
Yeah, it's like this crazy. I think it just puts a crazy amount of expectation on others, which is for me like a lot of my friendships aren't really. I don't really. Well, it's just like, because even if I want to see someone, you know, there's so many variables to why it just won't happen, you know. And I think the mutual low maintenance respect of like some of my deepest friendships of people where it's like, if we can, we can. Like
The closer I am to someone, the less I see them.
yeah, and that's like like literally with me, like one of my closest friends, Tiana, you know, I think I see her probably once every month or two. She lives in fucking Manchester now, and maybe we'll message a little bit every couple of weeks. There is never any expectation. I don't have the patience for someone to turn around and be like, you're not putting the effort in. Like, I expect you to be doing this, this, and this, and you're not. And it's like, wow, okay.
I guess it's how, like, because I think there are some friendships that are like more instant social people.
Yeah.
As in, like, you see them a lot, you're going out, you know, there's lots to talk about. But then there are friends, I think, that you have that are like people that you see maybe like not as frequently.
Yeah.
And I think you guys have got some kind of like unspoken agreement. Like, same with you. One of my best mates, James, we go away. He's probably my oldest friend. And we will just meet for a coffee, like probably like once every 3 weeks or like once a month sometimes. And it's never like, oh, like, don't leave it so long. We just meet up and then I just like have a little debrief and stuff. But I think sometimes there can be instances, obviously, where you like, in some friendships where you're like, oh, like I'm kind of hitting them up a lot more than they're hitting me up or but then I think, yeah, it's a weird one. But that therapist thing definitely like changed my whole view of that saying.
Yeah.
There was another one. I'm going to try and think if I can remember it, but it was just like, oh no, yeah, that was it. Once, if they do it once, it's a mistake. If they do it twice, it's a choice.
Oh.
And I was like, that's so fucking true. Everyone can get in the fucking bin. And then again, he was like, okay, well, again, like, put it back to the payment thing. You forgot to pay me. Do you think I like went home and was like, well, you know, I don't, because I think it happened twice, both for separate reasons, but he was always like, you know, we have our sessions on a Friday and maybe you'll go and play a gig on a Friday or you'll like go and see your mates on Friday. I don't expect you to like instantly do it because you're busy. And I was like, thanks, man. You're really cool. You should be a therapist. And he was like, so the 2 times you did it, do you think it would have been healthy for me to be like, once is a mistake, twice is a decision. Fuck this guy. Like, and again, it was like, oh my God, no. And it's just, not until you take, but like therapy, I think people think you just go in and you start telling them how triggered you are about everything and how like terrible life is. But actually it can be like, hey, like I've got this situation and I don't really know how to deal with it, or I don't really know how to.
Yeah.
I just feel like they help untangle the wires that are in your brain.
Well, it's the way that I kind of was always thinking about it was especially with because a lot of people kind of, especially with confiding in a friend and how similar it is, but not similar, where basically, I mean, this might be I don't ever expect anything of anyone at the same time as I don't want anyone to expect anything of me, you know. Any gesture towards me or any gesture I give is out of love, and like if I can, I will at the same time. And then so when it comes to confiding in friendships and stuff like that, I always have a little bit of a trust problem where someone's always going to have a different perspective, and someone's always going to either have an ulterior motive or, you know, a narrative or an agenda or something. The way a person thinks is never truly like unbiased. But when you're paying a professional who's trained in therapy, they're going to give you such kind of like vague is not the word, but such a well orchestrated response, adaptive to you and what you need to hear. And compared to like, you know, like I will go to, if I go to like 3 different friends about a problem I'm going through, you know, I'll be like, oh yeah, you know, I'm not doing too well. I'm a bit stressed and blah, blah, blah. And then one person, you know, he'd be like, yeah, talk about it. And like, yeah, just, maybe, you know, maybe take some sleeping tablets before bed and, you know, or just, you know, they'll give you recommendations off maybe their own experiences as well. They'll be like, you know, go to the gym. And then like another person will be like, you need more friends, you need to be more social. And then other people, and then someone else will be like,
you need to take some me time. You need to not see anyone.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like you need to work on yourself. You need to cut out all the snakes in your life. You know, that sort of.
You need to be alone forever.
Yeah, you need to put yourself in a box and not leave it for 48 hours straight in darkness. But yeah, you get, you know, all these friends are giving you this advice from experiences that they've either experienced themselves or they just think they know you, you know. And I think with a therapist, it's like, one, they don't give you the answers. And this is a thing where someone always thinks is like, you're going to be like, so I have this, and this, and they're going to be like, well, you should do this, and this. It's never going to be that. Yeah. My therapist at no point has ever told me what to do. And he's not thumping the mic.
Sorry, I went to move it because I had to clear my throat. But what I chose to do, Matt,
bang!
I was like...
Come in. Yeah.
Please. Mr. Therapist, please come in.
Yeah, this is my therapist. I'll bring him in. Oh, I'd love to.
Hi, guys.
Hi there. Hey.
I'm Mr. Therapist. Yeah, no, well, that's exactly it. And I think that was like one of the biggest things was learning about how that was such a podcast thing to say, wasn't it? Like,
yeah,
that was one of the biggest things I learned is
bringing it back to that.
Yeah, bringing it back to that.
Just
and
touching on that topic.
When you really think about it from a retrospective point of view, when you subject it, like, sorry, I was going to keep going and going. Yeah, I was not actually saying anything, just constantly like. But it's about
contextually.
I guess like when you look at it from that sense of like,
this is so chaotic.
I hate it. But it's just so good that they don't give you answers because you don't always need them. Sometimes if you go like I used to go in with problems thinking I wanted him to like lay out my life. Problems. Like I wanted him to fleabag it. I want you to tell me everything I need to do, what to eat, what to wear. But it was just his way of being like, well, what, like, why are you thinking like that?
Yeah.
Because they hate me, because everyone hates me. Well, why do you think that? And I was like, well, because, and then you're like, oh, fuck.
Ow.
Oh God, I've been rumbled.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's just why I think it's just so good. Like I just recommend it to everyone. Not as like a means of like, I hate all this stuff where people are like, why do you need to go to therapy? Talking about the guy who we were to talk about, Mr. Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
I think I saw one clip and it was like, do you think they had therapy in World War I? Do you think they had therapy in this? And I was like, well, probably not, because it was like a literal world war, you fucking piece of shit. But
it's like back then people just, they had PTSD and they killed themselves or they
that's
killed
the thing.
their wife.
Whereas like now we have these disposals and it's disposals. We have these like options.
And we've got infrastructure.
It's just so good. And it really bothers me when people are like, yeah, no, I don't want to go therapy. I'm like, no, go.
It's such a weird stigma.
Go. Especially guys.
Yeah.
It really pisses me off because it's fucking 2022. Like, stop being so precious about it. Yeah. Go and talk to someone.
Big mask
and realise that all of this masculine shit that you think you need to carry is actually bullshit.
Well, it's just like I meet these adult.
Sorry, I had so much to say there.
No, I have so many like these adult toxic males who are like, I speak to them, I'm like, God, you have your own, you have no perspective apart from your own, and they just build their huge identity on ignorance, and they completely won't open their mind to anything else. So of course they're never going to go to therapy because God, they don't want someone to kind of pull them apart. And it's one of the main reasons I love. Have you ever watched Sopranos?
No, I haven't. No, my friend really. It's funny. The same friend I was talking about is always like, "Fucking put Soprano."
Yeah. It's.
I mean, I know the famous ending, but
I haven't. I don't. So.
Oh, do you not?
And I'm about to finish it. I'm on the last season.
I won't tell you about Gandalf.
Don't. Shut up. But obviously,
Bilbo Baggins. Tony Soprano. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so basically, obviously he sees a therapist throughout the whole thing, and he's, this uptight, super toxic masculine mob boss with a weird moral compass. And it's just really cool to just see a therapist kind of try and not tear him down, but he gets these little windows of vulnerability where
humble
it's like,
him, yeah.
Wow, okay, this is cool. And so I can imagine, especially for like someone who's so uptight in that perspective of life, therapy is probably very intimidating. And yeah, I understand that. And I was like, because even when I first was like, I need help, the first thing I thought I need is medication. I was like, I want to take medication, make it go away. But like in hindsight now, I'm like, I don't want meds. Ideally, I don't want to be on medication. Like, I will take them if I have to, but my number one is I want to be talking to a therapist. I want to be talking to the therapist. I've now, for probably like, oh God, I probably first saw her at 16, 17. I've been seeing her on and off since I was about 17, this therapist, and she's like great. She's perfect. Just for like our dynamic is like exactly what I need, where I can kind of waffle. The good thing about therapy, you can literally like talk about whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
It's like these people are like so conscious as like, what if I'm not talking about the right things? What if I'm like, I fucking would turn up and I would just waffle on about.
They take what you say. I always used to find it amazing when I'd we'd have the session. It was like during COVID, so it was all online, but he'd be like asking me how my week was. And then I'd like blink, and then suddenly I was like talking about something that happened and we were dissecting it.
Yeah.
So, but even if you do waffle, they can relate it back to, because there'll be things that you've maybe said. Yeah,
exactly that. And I literally like sometimes I go in and just talk about any, why I specifically like a part in a film and stuff like that. And it's like, it's so impressive because they're the masters of callbacks. Is like I'll for example, if I was talking about a scene from a film that I'm like really drawn to, and it's like, oh yeah, the colors and the framing and stuff, and then like, oh yeah, but the dialogue, and I'm like, what about the dialogue? And it's like, I just like how so like understanding. Like one of the big examples is the Call Me by Your Name, the scene at the end with Timothy and his dad. That his dad's monologue, unreal.
Do you know what? His dad, it plays a character in Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I find it mental that like, I was like, you made me cry, sir.
Yeah.
And now you're like in some shitty Marvel film.
Yeah. And now you're in some fucking
this guy's CGI. Got range.
Yeah. He's got, he's done something else really weird recently that I've seen him in.
He was really cool in Call Me by Your Name. Like he was a really
most lovable warm character.
But I know but that scene that you're talking about breaks me every time.
Exactly. And I talked to my therapist about this, and she's like, well, I wonder if so do you think there's a correlation between your vulnerable blah blah blah, I'm not gonna go into
Wait a minute. I know what you're doing here.
Yeah. Blip 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 blip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think God, that film does things to me.
Trust me.
Like intellectual movie things to me, not weird things to me.
I don't know, that Peach scene's pretty.
It is.
You're not a fan of Armie Hammer. I'm not a fan of Armie Hammer, to be fair.
I don't know what's going on with him at the moment, and I don't really want to know.
Some like cannibal thing, isn't he?
Well, the people are saying that he's a cannibal, but then someone was also like, there were ropes involved, and I was like,
that's fine.
Ropes is kind of chill. It's okay, but then people are like, he's a cannibal.
He wants to
is
drink
he a
blood
cannibal or is he just a weirdo?
But if he's just like fetishizing cannibalism but doesn't carry it out, is it that big of a deal?
I don't know. I prefer not. I prefer not to say.
Prefer not to comment.
Oh. I'm sorry, I can't comment at this time. Armie Hammer?
Armie,
no. Armie, no. turning my leg.
He's pulling him out. Get out.
Is that molten salt you've got there?
Oh, what are you doing with the wok?
What are you doing? Okay, that's an interesting use of a skillet there. Yeah, very lovely film. Very lovely film. That last scene of Timothy Chalamet crying into the apparently he had a little earpiece in and he was listening to that song.
Yeah, you would have to.
And thinking about all the sad stuff. Real sad, man. Real sad. Lovely little love story.
You ever had a holiday cutie pie hubby, something like that?
No. Have I? No.
No,
not one that I've like met on holiday. I've taken booze on holiday, but I haven't. Booze?
but
that sounds like I'm taking I'm taking my one true love. Fucking booze, mate.
Tequila.
Yeah. I've taken like significant others. There we go.
Oh yes.
On holiday. Partners. I've taken my life partners away. But I haven't ever met someone like on holiday and like ran through a field with them. Or maybe like, I think there were maybe like some trips where like I'd like fancy someone and be like, oh my God, I love you so much. I'm going to be with you forever.
Yeah. So everyone is instantly hotter when you're on holiday.
There's just something about, I think it's because it's that this is going to end.
Yeah.
We're going to go home.
It's very, and you know, and this funny enough calls back to my crippling fear of art mimicking life and life mimicking art, and no idea is my own idea. Is the reason is because it is like this super romantic like cliche of like, ooh, two people the same. It's like the whole thing where it's like, if you've been hearing this thing where it's like someone your age on the plane is instantly hotter because you're traveling with, like, if you see someone on the plane and they look like,
is that a thing? Because I've seen that and I don't think I ever.
Do you not?
Have you?
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I haven't been on a plane in a while, but if I see something, I'm like, they're a piece of me, you know. Instantly, I'm like,
okay.
You know, like if they were like a 6 down Weatherspoons on a plane, they're like a 9, you know.
If they were, I should have brought like a sound effects board, shouldn't I?
Oh, I want to get on this.
Yeah, I guess so.
But same for holiday. But anyway, I haven't. I've had like, I remember there was okay, actually no, I lie. I don't know if she listens to this either, but there was.
I hope she does.
I hope she does. So there was she was a northern girl. And this was ages ago though. I was probably like 13, 14. So it was just like a crush thing. It wasn't anything exciting or spicy.
Yeah.
But I was on holiday in France and I met a girl and she was a bit...
Sorry, hang on. Let me just carry on telling the story.
And so we... Wait, is this Joji?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm waiting for him to be.
I keep hearing all of like the different versions. But when the first version I heard was the La La Land mashup.
That's so
thing.
good.
I was like, no way did someone actually make a tune out of this. And then so I was thinking about it. That's how I just want everyone to know that's how I found it so quickly.
Yeah. Have you heard the select payment type one? Where someone's put like the
insert cash, select payment type.
Fuck it, I hate it so much.
Use PIN pad.
It's
to
the
complete
worst
transaction.
Anyway, there's the fucking northern girl I met on like this holiday resort in Pontoise, which is Brittany, Normandy, France. But yeah, I remember that being like, so we're dating now, you know, but we didn't kiss. I think we held hands and walked around the holiday park once, you know, and then we left, and then like, you know, we're gonna add each other on Facebook and we're gonna stay together and all this, you know. And I kind of like for the next like year, I was like, do I have a girlfriend, like a long distance girl? And then like I was like got like 4 months into like another relationship, like, and I was like, have I got 2 girls?
Are you?
Am I collecting women? I'm not Andrew Tate. But but yeah, she's still like, we're still good friends now. She's probably one of the only people I've met on holiday and have ever stayed in contact with.
What's her name?
Beth.
Hi, Beth.
Hi, Beth. If you are here, how's I think Newcastle. Her parents used to have like a St. Bernard, I think it was, or a Bernese Mountain Dog. It was massive.
Oh,
it was really cute.
You miss her.
She got me a necklace actually, and I've got it like over there.
Guys.
Yeah, you know, it never dies.
Oh, right there.
And she got me that map. She's well. I feel really bad. I don't think
Which
I've actually
map?
got anything
That
for her.
map?
The smaller one. The
Now,
smaller.
is it next to the picture of her?
Yeah.
And the,
Yeah, with the
candle
with the
that-
kiss with the
yeah.
kisses on. Yeah.
And where it says "I love Beth" in blood.
Yeah,
Is it just below?
yeah. Ignore the other weird stains next to it as well.
I like to keep my stains in one place.
Yeah, that's the stain corner.
That's the stain corner. I like how you framed it.
Yeah. And wrote stain corner. On like a you know, the dino little like the tags. The therapist is just over here and it's just like so what do you do in this? So a stain corner.
Stain corner, okay. Yeah, perfect. Okay.
I've always wondered if I told like, if I made up something, I started telling like, but said it so to my therapist, just so out the blue, like, yeah, so my mum found the piss jars the other day.
My mum found the piss jar.
Yeah, the piss. What was it? The piss. Who? I read a story of a guy who had a piss drawer, a drawer on his bedside table. Where if he
Why?
needed a piss in the night, he would just piss in the drawer.
God, guys are so weird, aren't they?
Yeah, God.
Why would you do that?
Whose man is this?
Don't open that drawer.
Don't open that drawer. It must just stink.
On an unrelated note,
I'm related. No, don't. Yeah.
just don't open that drawer.
Yeah. Don't look under the bed.
Yeah, well, I think the therapy thing is they're kind of tuned to know what if what you're saying is bullshit, and what you're saying is not. But I also thought the same thing when I was in therapy. I was like, should I just make up a random story?
Yeah.
But I was like, actually, no. There's £65 I'm paying an hour. I don't think I want to.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's obviously the other intimidating thing. It's the price. It's
But then I kind of think that I'd maybe spend that on a night out.
yeah,
So
or a
I'd
gym
rather-
membership as well. Like,
Speaking of, you're looking bath.
stop it, stop.
I
As soon as you
brought
came
some
in,
baby oil with me. Would you mind just
I've got.
lathering yourself up?
Yeah. No, I'm so sticky and clammy at the moment. I go literally. I've been going. Funnily enough, I've only been going to the gym because it's the only place I know that has air conditioning.
Oh, tell me about it. Which one do you go to? Night Hampton.
Yeah, it's fucking lazy. But I kind of want to move to one of the cool hip and the actual weightlifting ones, because there's one squat rack and there's one bench, like barbell bench, which is a bit like restrictive.
Yeah.
I was going to say something ridiculous before that, but so like it is like a kind of like see therapy as that's a similar outgoing payment, you know, self-care at the end of the day. So it just fits into that budgeting. Won't get me wrong, gym is definitely a lot cheaper, but it is like on a similar guideline. Unless you pay for like a fancy gym, you know, like Champneys.
I think that's another thing as well. I think the obvious things that are good for us are like good for us. Like I'd always, you know, I have this weird relationship with going to the gym where like I'll go and I'll feel amazing and that's like, yeah, this is my life now. And then like something with work will happen. I'll have a shoot that will last like a week and I've lost it and I just never go.
Yeah.
I always walk out of the gym feeling really irritated because I'm like, I feel fucking amazing. Everything that I was worried about. There was a time where I couldn't feel anything. I was numb to everything. I was like, nothing is like bringing me joy.
Yeah,
I don't want to do anything. And then like I went to the gym a couple of times in the morning and walked out of it and I was like, I can fucking move mountains. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like, and I was like, it's so irritating to me that my brain can't somehow be like, yeah, this is insane. Like we need to start going like all the time.
Yeah.
The same way that my body is like, okay, it's feed time now, and if you don't, you know, we're going to feel bad, or you need to drink some water. Like, so I think it's like a mixture of that. I think therapy and like exercise, like obviously, like who'd have thought moving your body is good for you?
Oh, it's
absolute game changer.
It does insane. You know, I kind of was always like dismissive of like my doctor, like being, I'm like, you know, I'm sad, and they're like, how much exercise do you do? I was like, none.
Sorry, what's that word? Exercise.
Yeah. Let me Google that. So.
Okay. Oh no, there's no keyboard here.
Yeah.
Next time I'm gonna bring props.
Har. Yeah, well, I, you know, I'd be like, oh, yeah, fucking exercise for pussies, you know, I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, it just does crazy. Even if it's not just, you know, what is it? Is it dopamine you get from exercise?
Dopamine.
So yeah,
yeah.
So it's not just that. It's obviously feeling healthier feels good, and then just looking better makes you feel a lot better as well.
Yeah,
you know, I'm like,
trying to look at it less on looking better and more on just like feeling better, because I think it's really easy to like. I like followed a bunch of people on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna motivate myself. But obviously, I'm like
fit, like gym,
right. Well, these like
pages.
reels and TikToks are like trying to get my attention within the first 2 seconds. Of course, it's going to be like some guy with like immaculate abs and a shed. Do you know what I mean? And I saved that to a separate folder for another. But I think
for my eyes only.
For
your eyes only.
Yeah. Purely for scientific purposes.
Yeah.
But I think it can be really easy to be like, I need to go because I need to look better because I'm a piece of shit, and if I don't look better, then. But I think like it's just so good for your head when you've got shit going on.
100%.
And you lift that really fucking heavy thing. It's so good for your head.
Yeah.
To just like do. It's so simple. It's so simple.
But I wonder. I think I might have even looked this up before. But I wonder if there is like a scientific. The way clarity in the brain when you put the brain under stress like that.
I think there is. I don't want to be one of those classic podcast guys that like blindly says facts.
Yeah.
But I remember when I saw
the my biggest fear ever is doing that. Is constantly being like,
making blind facts.
It's the shit I'm saying.
Well, maybe we'll do a little intro at the end, and we'll just make loads of like wild
shit up.
Like facts and statements to draw people in, and it's actually just us talking about therapy and but the last PT I saw, Train with Nick. I'm gonna give him a little plug.
Yeah.
Because he is fucking.
This is
brilliant.
the one that I was seeing when you were outside.
Yeah. He's brilliant. And you know, I think there was a time where he was saying like, because your brain is only thinking about that one thing. It's only thinking about lifting that thing here, in that direction. You're not thinking about that mate that spoke to you funny or like didn't text you back, or like that person that maybe looked at you in a weird way, like and it's true, like when you walk in there you're just there to like do that thing. And I think it's been slowly kind of like fogged up by these fucking influencers that are like you know, using all these fucking like Robin Williams quotes and like fucking making all their little TikToks and stuff.
Is it Robin or Robbie?
Robin.
Okay, I thought
because there's a quote. There's a quote I keep hearing, and it's like, "Time for your next adventure," and it's from fucking Night of the Museum.
Oh, fuck's sake!
It's from Night of the Museum. It's
shit.
It's a Ben Stiller film. Do you know what I mean? Stop fucking making audio of it. I don't know who's in charge of it. Gen Z's.
It's like, I don't know what. Is it the ones like, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow? It's like, isn't that exciting?
Isn't that exciting?
No, it's fucking miserable.
But yeah, I think. Obviously, there's like the physical benefits, and you know, as someone that has like struggled with his weight for like most of his life, like it's kind of nice to do it, not to be like, I'm gonna get really hot, I'm gonna get really likable because I am smaller. It's just nice to do it as like, hey, I've had a really bad day. I kind of want to move my body. I kind of want to lift this heavy thing. If I get some boulder shoulders out of it, then great.
Yeah, I mean, it is like, it's everything where...
I mean, I just want to do it so I can like move things.
Yeah.
Because I just like the idea of being like if someone's like, "Oh my god, my baby is trapped under this car."
Just get
Don't worry, ma'am.
whoosh.
Da, 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 da. That'd be me lifting a car off a baby.
Therapist, like, I just want to move things.
I just want to lift a car off a baby. Okay. You keep.
It was great.
And what do you think
I'm
that
stealing
means?
your joke.
But yeah, it's great, and I need to get
How
back
did
into
the baby get under the car, Bradley?
What happened? It was just a normal day in Metropolis, and a woman was crossing the road, and she slipped on some radioactive oil, and it slipped under the. I've watched a lot of trash films at the moment, so
Oh, nice.
I'm just in a really trashy film.
I'm just in a trashy mood.
I'm just in a trashy
I'm
mood.
just feeling
Well,
trashy.
to be fair, not super trashy. I watched DC League of Pets. Because I don't know why, but I just really like the heat was unbearable. I wanted to go in like an aircon room.
Oh, was it showing at cinema?
It was showing at Letchworth, yeah. I didn't go alone. I went with my boyfriend. I just want everyone to know that I'm not like a weirdo that sits in the dark. But watching a kids film,
No, it's just two weirdos sitting.
just
in the
two
dark.
weirdos, just two mustached weirdos watching League of Pets. But I did watch Nope the other day,
Is
the
it
new
any
Jordan Peele film. Oh my god, he just knows how to make a good film.
Yeah, I mean, I can't lie. I'm not. I mean, I did.
You're not a fan?
I'm struggling. I think he's great, but it's still like there's a bit of an overrated thing I get from him.
Cancelled.
Eh.
Done. Yeah,
I do like. I think I haven't watched Us, but I watched Get Out.
I would watch Us.
Yeah.
Watch Us before you watch Nope. Nope was like. It was a roller coaster.
I love Keke Palmer though.
Keke Palmer is brilliant, and
obviously
Daniel
Kaluuya
Kaluuya.
is fucking amazing.
They
I
are
love that man.
they are brilliant in it. The story is like all over the shop, but it's Jordan Peele, and you figure it out at the end. But Us is very good. I know what you mean. I think nowadays it's really hard to like not see something as overhyped, because if you don't watch that film within the first day of it coming out, you're constantly seeing stuff about it and theories. And you know, me and my old flatmate would always go and watch a film or something, or like we both love the Marvel films. And like the second day after the film was out, he'd be like, I already know the ending. I already know the explanation of the ending. I haven't even seen the film. Because there's constantly all these like explainer videos and stuff.
Yeah, and it's
there's
happened
loads
a bit
about
for Nope, but luckily
Jordan Peele's films.
I've avoided it. But I've just turned into such a fucking like I feel miserable because I'm like, am I just a stoic Kino prick where I'm just like, oh no, this is not.
No one's crying in this film.
Yeah, I'm not feeling an intimate connection with anyone here. I'm like, that framing's disgusting. You know, it's like
That's not a Dutch angle.
that's not.
Put the camera 45
This is not on an
degrees.
anamorphic lens.
Yeah. I really want to buy an animal fit lens.
Yeah, if I had the fucking. I don't know. It's anamorphic. So it films in ultra wide and then you compress it, don't you? Is that how it?
Yeah, it's like filmed in like super compressed, and then the image is like squashed and then you stretch it. But the flaring on them is beautiful. A friend of mine got a 24mm
It's a bit Michael Bay.
anamorphic, and it was really lovely and wide, but it just looks beautiful.
Yeah.
There's something about it. It's easy to go a bit J.J. Abrams though, and like make everything really flary, but it's just the way that it's the way they look. It's the way they look.
I'm just fucking. Is it Cineplex? Like the old. I can't remember what 64mm. Like, just the grain, the color, just so good. So
I
many
bought a
good
film
films.
emulator for my color grading, which I feel really bad about because
you're a piece of shit.
yeah, I
Get out of my
know,
fucking
because
house.
it's like cheating. And it was really interesting just like messing around with that, because it's like all the different film stocks.
Yeah.
But it also made me think, like, imagine shooting a film on film. And I remember I was listening to the Roger Deakins podcast. I don't know if you've heard of him, Roger Deakins.
Who's this?
He's
Roger Rabbit.
my best friend.
Oh.
But he was saying like different film stocks have like different color temperatures, I think.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'd be up all night thinking like, oh my God, what if I loaded like the warmer film or the colder film? Like what if, you know?
No, yeah,
I was just
definitely.
thinking like now we just press a button and it's like on a card and then a card straight into a laptop. But like then it was like, put it in this big case. And
Well, that's one of my favorite things about shooting film. You know, I'm like, ooh. So normally I'd probably, like on a nice sunny day, I'd probably use Color Plus 200. But you know what? I kind of want to see what like Kodak Gold looks like, you know, or some shitty Fuji like magenta washed thing. And like recently, like I've really enjoyed like Cine. So Cine Still uses old cinematic film, and the colors are so fucking nice.
I really want to get some of that.
It's so good.
Maybe you can hook me up.
I've done 800T, which is obviously great for nighttime.
I've got some here. What's this?
Yeah, I think that is just boring Color Plus though. Probably.
Color Plus.
Yeah.
Color
Plus. It's just a standard, mate.
For the audience at home, it's Color Plus.
It's just a nice and warm. It's got lots of good yellows, and I like the greens that come out of it. I think they're all the same.
I bought some since we kind of last spoke. I've definitely gotten more into it.
Yeah.
Like a little bit inspired by the stuff that you do.
Which is kind of cool, you know. Stop it.
Well, because I've been going to Cambridge a lot.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Because of Callum. Thanks, Callum. And the camera shop there have obviously got like loads of film stocks. So like Portra 160, Portra 400, and like all these different exposure stops and all this funky stuff. And it's been really cool to like properly, because I got a light meter app on my phone, and it's been really cool to like use a light meter and like actually frame a shot.
Yeah.
This place in Birmingham that I send the reel off to, film off to.
What's the place called?
AG Photographic.
Yeah, I think I've sent to them before.
Very lovely people.
Yeah.
But they can give it back to you low contrast, so almost like log. For film buffs out there.
TIFF.
Yeah, but it's like low contrast, and then you can grade it almost.
Yeah.
But I always did that because I do that with my film stuff. Like I film everything really flat and then bring it up, and I was like, no, but that's not the point, is it? You're not supposed to edit the film. It's supposed to be whatever.
Yeah.
So I think next time I'm gonna just have them develop it.
I do like a shot when it looks perfect out of the roll, but sometimes, you know, I do, you know, get in like really.
Oh yeah, sometimes you have to like
bump the blacks down a bit.
It up, yeah. But this is like, it's literally flat to like really low contrast.
Yeah,
and then you can. I love a really contrasted image. I love like lots of, you know.
Yeah, so like
on the face, like I love like a Rembrandt almost looking thing. So.
Well, it's like if you used Portra 600, but then you upgraded and tried Portra. I think it's Portra 800. They do a faster
Portra 800. Isn't that going to be super grainy though? No,
it could be the other way, because it'll be super sharp, because you can get all the light, all that good.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's you can shoot in low light if you want pretty well. So that's when you can get your harsh shadows and stuff, as opposed to Portra 160. Which is very low light, and that's when you're probably gonna have to do like a 2 second exposure to kind of get anything decent.
I'd love to go medium format next year. I'm gonna try and buy a.
My fucking medium format film is so unsatisfying to use now. I used to have a really nice Bronica, which would be like click, sounded really good, but now I've got that Fuji, that big one there
on the end.
Yeah, it's a 6x9. And it's so expensive to shoot for, because obviously already medium format is expensive.
Oh yeah, super pricey.
And already I think you only get like 15 exposures if you're shooting 645. I'm pretty sure it's like 15 exposures a roll. So on top of that, if you're shooting 6x6, I think it's only like 12, 13. But that's a 6x9. I get 8 shots, if that.
And how much is the film?
Oh God, I haven't looked for a while, but last time I checked, probably like 18, 19 pounds.
Jesus.
And then obviously you're getting it scanned and developed for probably around the same amount.
It is really expensive. It is super expensive, isn't it? Yeah. But I do think it's worth it, because
definitely
I'll forget. Like I've just got like, I'm a basic boy. I've got like an Olympus OM10.
Classic. It's a good camera though.
But that's the thing. It does the job, and that's what I want it to do. And I got this really lovely 35mm with it. And I always think 35mm lenses are the best, because You get
That's
like the bokeh of a 50, but the wideness of a 35. And having like taking that on trips with me now, I'll like find a shot rather than just take a picture and take a video and put it on a social media app for people to look at for a second. It's nice to actually like frame it. There's one time when I was in France and like we were staying in this campsite and there was this little kind of shower hut, and it was just like this kind of this magenta yellow, not magenta, what am I trying to say? Tan yellow kind of magnolia yellow kind of mustard yellow. Oh, do you know what? I'm so tired.
Mustard.
It was mustard. Bradley, why do you think you got your words mixed up there? It was this mustard yellow. I went through every colour of the rainbow there. Mustard yellow hut. The sun came in from the other. It was like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just like one of those moments where I was like, my phone camera is not going to catch this, but you know what will? And like setting up the shot and like getting the light meter out and doing that. There's just something about it. There's something about it. And then not seeing it. Yeah. Not seeing it until like a couple of weeks after, or in some cases like a couple of months.
So therapeutic.
I love leaving a roll of film just on the side.
Yeah.
In the dark. And then coming back to it in like a month.
Yeah, well that's what I had 3 rolls of film sat there for like a year. And I got them developed the other day, and it's just nice to be like, oh fuck, I forgot I took a picture of that.
I did that, yeah.
You know, and yeah, I don't know, like maybe part of me's fallen out of film a little bit because I used to shoot all the fucking time, but I've barely done it recently. And if I do, I'm just using a little point and shoot. You know, I haven't brought the medium format mainly because of the cost, but even then, like I've got like that little 35 I think it's a Minolta. But yeah, that thing, you know, I just don't. It's a bit intimidating because it's such a weird half and half between like kind of automatic, but it's not completely manual. So I don't know. Yeah, I never trust the process enough that I'm going to get a result that I want out of it.
Yeah. It's just slower.
Yeah.
That's just what I like. It's just slower.
And and obviously when you have, you know, with the digital, you know, I've got a 64 gigabyte, you know, memory card. I can shoot for days.
Well, that's the thing. And I always find photography way harder than film because even in this room now on this podcast, I can get a few shots and build a story of some kind of like what's happening.
Yeah.
But with with photography, I think it's way harder.
Yeah.
Because it's like the photojournalists and stuff that you see, or like people that do these series, and you think like to tell a story with a photo, you know, it's way harder, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Photojournalism specifically, my sister does it, and I follow her and some of her friends, and just seeing that like, their process around that, because I like, you know, I just like to take a few pictures of like something, you know, like either if it's a trip or just like like I try and capture you know, moments and memories, you know.
I like to eternalize moments. I saw that in a bio once. I hate all these fucking Instagram bios, man. Someone was like, I like to eternalize moments. Eternalize moments.
They'll be
take a photo.
Like an A7 III, and it will be like, you know,
all right, calm down. I've got an A7 III.
You know, the cyan. They always fucking grade it, so it's cyan and orange.
Are they bad? Do you think they're bad?
I want one, but they're not. They're not classic. Shooting cameras. They're like, I want one for film. Like, I'd much rather have an A7 than this Fuji.
To be fair, mate, they're pretty shit. I rarely even use it.
For film, for like videoing.
Yeah.
What do you use for videoing if you don't use?
So I have an A7 III, but it's dog shit because for some reason, so you can only shoot 8-bit on it, and I shoot S-Log 3, and it just compresses everything. It's just not. It's not great. It overheats really easily.
Does it?
It's really
This one's pretty good at that. It doesn't. It gets real hot, and it will be like fine.
I mean, I'm definitely one for like, it doesn't matter what you shoot on, but if you have a specific thing that you need,
it definitely like.
I hire an FS7 for most of the stuff I do now, and then I'm trying to buy an FX6, but there's none available.
What are these? Who makes?
So basically, so there's these Sony FS7, which is like a cinema camera, or like they're just like, you know, the industry standard cameras.
Yeah.
But the FS7 has been like a universal industry standard camera for a while, and then they brought out the FX6 and the FX3 and the FX9. It was the FS7, and then it was the FX3, and then the FX6 and the FX9. Like, just call them.
That's the good thing about the Fujis; they're all just fucking bog standard, like.
But they're like, but these cameras are like, it's mad.
Insane.
What you can do with them, yeah.
I mean, I assume, I don't know enough about film to know for realsies, but I did like, because I'm still experimenting, because I do like to play with the film format quite a bit at the moment.
I'm just going to pull my shorts down.
Yeah, it's all right, you fucking slut.
Are you saying it was what I was wearing? Shouldn't really joke about that.
Yeah, God, Jesus. Yeah, so obviously with, I don't know much about, I dabble a lot in, like, I'm doing more video than I do anything else at the moment because it's just fun. But I'm mixing up formats all the time. So like I bought the wide angle for that. So I'm shooting on that's like a 7.5. Fuck, I saw myself doing that.
Was there anything in it?
It didn't break. No.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that has like 90,000 glasses in their room.
Yeah. Oh,
is that one of those? Is that one of those lamps?
The TikTok lamps. Yeah. It's great.
Keep it on.
I don't know how to get to it. You might have to get to it.
Don't worry.
I'll show you after.
I just thought it'd be really atmospheric. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. If it gets a bit darker. But yeah, so this is like a 7.5 mil, and this is
7.5.
Yeah, it's fucking wide. It's basically it's a fisheye basically, and
it's
I love
skate stuff, right?
Yeah. So this is me like because I did film a skate video with this kit lens, which is garbage. It's just a 16-50, and I went down the 16, but then also I had like an attachable fisheye. I bought this for like a couple quid.
Oh wow,
dirty. But my favorite lens when I was shooting is this. I've got a pancake lens. This is what, 25, 20, 28, 27 mil. That's a nice lens. But look how fucking small the glass is.
Tiny.
Yeah, it's like a 5p coin. But that was great because that's what I do. Because this is a crop sensor. Well, I don't know if this one is, but my old camera was a crop sensor, so 27 equated to a 35 mil. But yeah, I don't know, because then I bought this, but I still haven't used it.
Yeah, I really want one of those. It's so funny that they're like,
do you know,
really expensive now and like coming back. Like,
I spent ages, like this one cost me 40 quid and I was quite happy with like
40 quid. I've seen them go for like 100, more than 100.
Yeah, I was quite lucky with and it still works, and the batteries are pretty good on it as well. The only problem is I don't understand the DV process still. Where is it? There's like so many different techniques for mini DV to get it to digital, and I haven't picked the right one. But do you know Blonde Skateboards at all? Reese,
No.
He films, like, he's got the classic. So the classic skate thing is a VX1000, which I think is a high 8 or a mini DV. But what people do is you can get these FOV. They were for racing drones, but people put them on these cameras where basically instead of recording to the cassette, it just basically screen records the screen.
Oh, is that cassette?
So this is So this has got a mini DV cassette in it, and then
dude, you won't find anything with that.
Yeah,
my parents have got a Panasonic, something like I nicked it to try and see if I could find film for it, but there's just nothing.
No, I've got one. I found one. My friend's found me one mini DV cassette.
Oh wow!
And he gave me it. It was really nice.
Cherish that.
Still haven't used it yet.
But then I guess you can't format them, can't you? Once you've written onto them, you can't.
You can rewrite them.
You rewrite them.
I'm pretty sure.
So you can't just use them.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So that's. I might be wrong, and sometimes like you got to be careful because you can only rewrite them so many times before they conk out because it's analog. But yeah, like, I don't know if I want to go down that route. I've been thinking a lot about, and you know, Emily who used to work with Jolly Brown.
Emily Mars.
Yeah. So she shoots with a Blackmagic. And
Yeah.
I would love a Blackmagic.
Blackmagic are very nice cameras.
Yeah.
They're very like, you have to spend a bit on the rig.
Yeah.
But the images that you get from them are beautiful.
So nice. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure, I'm always figuring out exactly what route I want to go down. A lot of me kind of just wants to do like an authentic, like one part of me just wants to get like a good, if I'm going to do hiking videos, I want to get a good drone who can follow me. And then I was going to get like literally just like a GoPro 360.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm like, but no, I want like authenticity and like kind of more organic. So I was like, do I start shooting 16mm, you know, and just get these little snippets whilst I'm in the mountains of like, you know, but then you don't have sound. You then have to get into sound design and make your own sound to put with it. And then it's like every fucking person uses an A7 III to film their hiking shit. And the grading always just looks fine. Like it looks like that'll do, you know, it looks good. And then every now and then you get someone who is, you know, they fucking drag a red weapon or something up there, you know, and they're crazy 8K shots.
It's whatever it's kind of whatever you want to use. I think there's one filmmaker friend of mine, Ben Crocker.
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah. Rings a bell.
Grew up in Baldock, I think. But you know, I think he made this amazing Thailand video, and I don't know if it's true. I think I saw it on someone's story, but I think he shot it on like an A7S Mark I. Do you know what I mean? The toilet water of Sony cameras, like
that's like it's like the equivalent of like they're just
like compared to what you can do
1200D Canon or something.
And it is just like how you use it. And I know that's really cliche and it's super Casey Neistat.
I literally was about to say it's like,
but like, it's just how you use it. Like the grading, like most of these people that have these A7 IIIs are also selling their own LUT packs. Like it's just classic YouTube, whatever. But it is just about like, you know, the shot. Like I think a wide lens. Like I used to be all about like closer lenses, like longer lenses. I hate the phrase nifty 50 because it's like people just like it because it's a blurry background. And that's
50mm prime.
50mm prime because it gives you that nice bokeh, and it's like, yeah, but why do you want that? And I'm getting into the territory of sounding like a pretentious douche.
No, you are right though. I think,
but
it's
then,
fashionable, isn't it?
Yeah, but then when you actually look at it, it's like, I'm not talking you have to go out and like shoot everything like the Revenant, but I think just a nice like 16 to 42. Those ranges of lenses I think are great for outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
And I just think it is just how you use it. Like if they can shoot the Revenant on what was that, like a 14mm lens, and using nothing but natural, you know, I literally said that fact on the last episode that they shot it with natural light, and now here I am saying again, nothing's changed in the year that
I was a bit worried. I was like, we're going to repeat ourselves at some point.
We can repeat ourselves, yeah. No one, I don't think, was listening to the last one.
No one's listening.
But yeah, I think that's just what I think is more important. I think it's more important to be intentional rather than just buying a lens because it's like, I want a 50mm because I want it to be a blurry background and I want it to look like. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
I do agree. I think
and I know that sounds really like makes myself cringe just like sounding like such a douche, but
if you want to get all Casey Neistat, it is like you're asking several questions of it's like, what is the story? How do you want to tell the story? But then it's like, why do you want to tell the story that way? You know, where a lot of the time people will go towards like, why do you need that lens and that camera for this story? Do you just want it or do you need it? Or can you do this another way?
I mean, it obviously helps to make a beautiful image. And it's really helpful when you've got a camera that shoots 10-bit or you've got a cat, or you've got a fucking Ari that shoots like Ari log, or if you've got all these amazing things at your disposal, but
formats will completely change.
Yeah, but if you're just going out with like a point and shoot, or you're going out with like a camcorder you got from Argos or something, like there's so much you can do with it without it having to be this.
At the end of the day, I think like creativity and talent still surpasses the equipment, even in this day and age.
You can't teach the eye.
You cannot teach the eye.
If you've got the eye.
Masterclass with Bradley and
No. I sound like such a douchebag. No, but like that was like when I started doing it more full time. People would ask me questions, and I'd be like, "Why are you asking me? I don't know what I'm doing." But like, I could
tell you didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah.
I was like, God, this guy has no idea. I'm joking.
Okay.
I was literally like, as soon as I said that, I was like,
We'll trade notes at the end of it. Okay, that's really interesting that you said that. I'm not going to do it again. We've overdone the joke.
That makes it better.
It's overdone. But I just it's like you can't teach the eye. That's always the best thing. I remember someone came to me and was like, I feel like I've got like I can frame stuff and I can really look at stuff. And what are you doing?
There you go.
It looks like a sunset.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Lovely. Such a nice. Yeah, like, I mean, it was, my room's a fucking tip at the moment.
Play a TikTok sound.
Yeah.
It looks shit without a TikTok sound.
Oh, yeah.
Everything looks shit without a TikTok sound. Someone came to me, they were like, I feel like I've got the eye, but I just don't know where to start. And I was like, you're like halfway there then.
Yeah.
Because that's what you should care more about. You shouldn't care more about if, you've got a camera that shoots 60 frames at 4K. Also, stop shooting stuff at like 60 frames.
Yeah.
This isn't The Hobbit. Let's chill out. You don't need to... Anyway.
I shoot at 60 frames.
Oh, you bastard. I'm joking. But I just think that's it. I think like having those...
Man, I'd go down to 24, but...
Yeah. I'll make you go down to 24. After this podcast, I'll be like, don't shoot 60 frames a second.
Stop, Brad! Army Hammer's here.
That's Army Hammer in his.
I try and do it on my impression of Army Hammer. I can't do an impression of Army Hammer.
Call me by your name and I'll call you by mine.
Oliver.
Olio. He's actually saying olive oil.
Olive oil.
Olio. But yeah, that's
Boots
it.
and Cass and Boots and Cass.
Boots and Cass. I think that's all it is. Don't sweat about the kit. It's like those videos of Casey Neistat where it's like, I have all this kit, but like I just see them as tools. I'm a multi-million dollar winning filmmaker, but there is tools, and it's like, yeah, okay, but you've also like, if one of them breaks, you can easily go and buy a new one.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just kit.
Well, some of his best videos were like the old stuff where it's shot on.
Yeah, and I think that's really good. I think if you can take a little camera out and just go and shoot some stuff that's really cool, like you'll have no problem shooting like better stuff with like better cameras. But I think you should be refining the eye more than you should be refining your ability to like go and buy the latest camera. Because if you can look at something and go, how would I do that? And I always say this to clients. There's a client that I work with called Kira. I hope she's listening. She's very lovely. But she always she took a step back once when we were like filming, and I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, I'm just letting you, she'll like she kind of said that she was letting me look at the room, and I was like, what do you mean? And I think it's because like if you can just walk into somewhere and be like, we're going to shoot there, we're going to do that. By the way, that's not me saying how fucking creative I am, but I'm saying like that's a skill that I care more about than being able to like walk into any room and being like, right, we're going to shoot there, we should shoot there because X, Y, and Z. I've went on a bit of a creative rant there.
Creativity. Yeah,
creativity, man.
It comes down to what I always think is just like, you can keep thinking you have the eye. You think you need just do it. Just go and film what you want to whatever you have now. Do it with that now and see what happens. You know.
Your phone. People are making like amazing.
Especially the phone, man. Like when we were little, I was shooting on I used to shoot shitty little fucking like Mission Impossible style videos of my mates on a flip phone.
There's no point in finding out. Well, that's the thing. That's like just as good. There's a guy I follow that like posts like little vignettes of New York City, and he's shooting it on his iPhone.
That's nice. That's cool.
And it's just like moments of like, and he'll put all this really cool kind of like typography graphics at the top, and it'll be like 93rd and Prince Street, and like just these moments, and it's like someone's doing that on a phone, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
And it is just like it is crazy how it's changed, like the whole visual.
It's changed. The
platform
digital
has changed,
game.
yeah. Because
sure.
I remember when Instagram first came out. I'm old enough to know when it first came out. Well, how old are you?
40.
Yeah,
25.
You're 25. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe you are as well. I mean, I'm 29, so I'm not.
I remember when it was like that horrendous old looking, like on the original first iPhone, like the original logo was just like.
Have you watched the Netflix documentary on the guy who designed the new Instagram logo?
No, I haven't.
It's called Abstract, and it's called it's a series called Abstract. But they talked to this guy. I can't remember his name, but he's basically the guy that rebranded Instagram to what it is today, and it is so interesting. You should go and give it a watch.
Might check that out because
It's really cool.
Hate Instagram.
But like I remember when it was just like pictures of people's dogs and cereal and stuff.
Yeah,
and the fact that it's now blown up into this big horrible reels
platform
thing. Yeah, but it just goes to show that you can use your phone in any way.
Yeah.
You can use anything to just.
Well, people,
just do it. Just fucking do it. Stop talking about it and just do it.
Do it.
Just do it. Subway, just do it.
Subway.
That's not it, is it?
No, that's Nike.
What is it? Adidas. Just. Oh yeah, Nike. Yeah. Is this still going? Oh, it's still going on.
Just like I'm done.
It's still happening. But yeah, that's it, mate.
Yeah, that's on the money. That is just fucking film that shit. You know.
I think it's with anything, isn't it? Like anything creative, especially having gone. Because I think the last time we spoke, I was just about to turn full freelance. That was when it really kicked off.
Yeah.
And it's just, and people kind of say like, oh, like amazing, like what, like how do you feel about it? How do you think I should do it? I just think like, just fucking do it. Don't wait for the perfect time. Just do it. And I really don't want to get all
preachy,
white dude on a podcast.
What?
Because it's like, it's already
just chase your dreams, man. Or like just Kim Kardashian being like, you got to put in that work.
Yeah, just take your trust fund and put in the work. But yeah. Just go do it.
Just do it for your sanity at the end of the day. If you've got stuff you want to...
Yeah.
Everything I do creatively in that aspect is like,
I hate when people are saying like it's, but what about what will people think? And it's like the people that you think are going to care about your work are probably the same people that are going to live in their hometown for the rest of their life.
The people who won't like your work don't like you anyway. So don't care, And
if you do care about it, go see a therapist.
Yeah.
Full circle. Look how it's all come back around. It's all come back around. But what's my therapist doing in here?
Army Hammer's my therapist.
Stop writing on that typewriter. That's not a typewriter.
Yeah.
That sounded like a... Do you have a typewriter in here?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I just got my mechanical.
Next time, we're going to bring props.
Yeah. More props on the next episode. I like that. That's classic. Yeah, well, on the money. We've done it.
Are we done?
I think so. I mean,
what's the time on? Oh my god, I think we started at 7:07. It's now 8:07.
Well, we're at an hour and 15 minutes now.
Okay, well, if you guys have got any questions that you'd like to send into the podcast, please
let us know.
Let
we'll
Matt
be waiting.
Know at his address, which is 21.
Brook
Just
Avenue.
reel off your address.
SG 1970.
I do think that for the next ones, not necessarily for me, because I've definitely been on this too much now.
Yeah, fuck.
But you should film some.
I want
like outside.
Yeah, well, I keep being.
We should have done this one outside.
Well, we should have, but it was so fucking windy and grim today.
At some point.
Yeah.
I think if we do another one together.
I think I mentioned it before. That
let's do it outside. Yeah.
Well, that's the reason I wanted to use Hannah's studio as well, because I think that would have been a really nice studio to film in.
Even in like the Common or something in Letchworth.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking.
It's really nice there.
When there's a next nice day. I don't know what I've got planned for like the next few guests at the moment. At the moment, I'm trying to take the pressure off trying to line up a fucking guest in time for the next one.
Yeah, man.
Because last season I was really like, right, I'm going to do 4 episodes back to back weekly, and then I'm going to have a break, and then another 4 episodes, and then have a break, and then another 4 episodes, and then that was the end of the season. But this time I'm like, I'm still going to do 12 episodes this season, but I'm not going to fucking like it's been a month since the last one. So I don't want to force it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes the pressure off you, doesn't it?
Yeah. Especially with like everything for the future. And, you know, I've got other stuff I'm working on. I'm making another movie with the skate lot. I've got a photo series that's been in the works for a million years that I need to put together. I'm backlogged on my like Instagram posts of my film pictures by like a year and a half, 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Like I just get them developed, look at them and be like, that's a nice picture, tweak them up and then just never show anyone.
Never do anything. Oh, yeah, dude, story of my life.
Yeah, just got to get them out.
Got to get them out. Have you guys got stuff that you haven't got out? Right in.
Yeah, let us know.
26 Bullock Road.
Bulldog. I think that is
Hertfordshire Lane.
Hertfordshire Lane, Scunthorpe. And if Army Hammer's listening, do you really want to eat someone? Do you really want to drink someone's blood? Is that like a real thing? Or you just, just a bit of...
Oh, fuck, he's here.
He found us.
He's here.
Helio.
Really wants that olive oil.
Oh, God, yeah. All right. Anyways,
right.
that was great. And we
Good chat, man.
are off
Bye.
the air.